So the wiring specialty guys have been extremely helpful, and I spent a few dollars at their establishment, and I gotta say the prices reflected that they were appreciative, that they did appreciate me buying stuff from them. And if you got them on Instagram and you've seen a recent post of them, they actually posted a harness, try to get this thing out, that they were working on for an S13. Well, the harness was mine, the one they posted that they were kind of showing off their handiwork and all that. That was my harness. So it's got the solid state PDM. Alright, so what this will do, all these wires will, alright, so if you'll remember, we'll back up here. If you'll remember, we were doing the S13 chassis harness, how I was splicing all that stuff together and all those piles of wire, and then it just all of a sudden went away. That was 5 months ago. Ask me how I know. Alright, so 5 months ago, I stumbled across Wiring Specialties. We're making an actual deal that replaces all the chassis harness. So what you do, you run this box, and it controls everything. It does away with all of the unnecessary wires that you end up having. We'll get to these things in a minute. Okay, so this takes care of all the chassis wiring, taillights, turn signals, everything. This runs your headlights. I did have it to where the S13 has power windows, and that was kind of a dilemma too. I'll accept it. We're not pro. We're not. If we ever get into any of that, that may be down the road. So Pro 2, Pro Am, whatever have you. So I decided we'll just keep the windows and keep our power windows, because if the windows don't roll up and down and we go somewhere that it rains or car's full of water. So we decided to keep the power windows. So we didn't do the door bars that went out into the doors, and you do away with all the interior part of your door. So we kept those. So I had them go ahead and wire this to where we can use our power windows. We can use our windshield wipers, but there's only one speed. I think it's on full blast or something, I'm not really sure, but that's the way it's set up. They got one speed on the windshield wiper, but it does work. You got windshield wipers. I kept it to where the car is still possibly a street car. Or if you're drifting, you're not having to worry about it's freezing outside, because we're not going to run a heater. We can at least roll the windows up. We can do about anything. I mean, you lose the functionality of the pop-up headlights. That goes away. You don't have that, but you could put that on a switch if you want to. A three-way, it's up and a down. You can still do that. But I think I'm going to do away with the motor on the headlights. I'm not going to run bricks or anything. That's just way too much money. But I set this up to be able to still have a street car, turn signals, tail lights, the whole shabazz. And I did have them wired for a double in-tank fuel pump, so I can run 2 fuel pumps. I have it to where it runs. Alright, so this is the thing. With this box, there's no fuses. There's no relays. It's just this wiring harness, and I mean, I did get the push button thing. wherever it's at, to turn things on. You know, like your turn signals will be on a push button. Sucks, but it is what it is. I can program everything because this wiring harness coincides with the engine harness I already have from these guys. All this goes together. This is completing the puzzle. When I said there's more coming, this is the more. So with this box, controls everything. It does hook into the ignition switch. It hooks into everything. Power windows, taillights, turn signals, windshield wipers, but there's no fuses or relays, so we do away with that. And now I just have one harness to run. I don't have all that mess from the factory 240 harness, right? Okay. With it all ran together, I got but one plug I can plug in and tune everything. I can control the you know, the functions of everything inside this box. Let's see, there's, which is the OD port. This is where you plug in to tune, to do the USB to CAN. You can tune this thing through that. You can, I mean, it's everything. We have, I think this is like 2 big relays. I think that's the only relays that are in this whole kit. I think that's probably for the fuel pumps. But this is USB to CAN. This is actually where I hook my everything up to control it. Here's a couple of extra plugs. That's probably for the fuel pumps. And this jewel right here runs everything as far as, it's like my interior controls everything. You know, I guess I'm thinking I can control, you know, the turn signals, how long they click or whatever. This right here now, this is the ADU 7 Advanced Display Unit. This right here is what I've been excited about. So now, we have, this is the ECU 7, tons of features, tons of adjustability. This right here is the control center of, you know, the cabin. You know, the driver sitting here looking at this thing needs to have all the information that a driver needs right there at his fingertips. So, yeah, this right here will be the overall display. 7-inch. Look this thing up, research it if you're into, you know, wanting to do one of these. This one right here is the one. So, but now everything being tied in by Wiring Specialties, everything will be right there. You know what I mean? I'll be able to control everything through the CAN to USB. I'll be able to do the tuning, the display, everything that's possible. And it's like having 3 computers technically in the car. 3 very high, up to date with most options available actual computers at my fingertips, with all this, you know, that comes involved in, you know, keeping this car tuned and everything working as it should, versus a bunch of factory OEM wires that I've cut all to pieces trying to figure out how to splice them. Way easier. Costs quite a bit. But this is just to simplify it. I'm not a wiring guy, and that's just to drive that factor home. But yeah, you definitely need to get in on this if you know, if you're building any kind of track car, long term, higher end, you definitely need to get in on this. So yeah, thank you Wiring Specialties, thank you ECU Masters. Yeah, awesome products. Thanks guys. One more thing though, from Wiring Specialties, I did get the all-inclusive wiring kit for the power wire. So this will actually have my kill switch, my actual, wherever it's at, here it is. This will be power wires to hook up everything. So I decided to go ahead and just go all in on my grounds and powers, and that way I've got everything right at my fingertips. Again, this is to simplify. I went ahead and had them make everything to do everything. So yeah, this is to the PDM. It's all labeled. Obviously it's a battery negative, it's the black wire. Let's see what all options. This is from the battery to, I think, this thing, the actual 200 amp breaker. Pretty sure, and this is the main. It goes all the way, this goes to the starter. And alternator, there's your alternator. It's all separated, it's all labeled. Everything's right here. The PDM, that actually controls this goes through the firewall. You can put a stud on the firewall, come with the stud to stud it through the firewall. Wow, guys, you got it figured out. This Wiring Specialties sticker. Yeah, these guys, man, they know what they're doing. So Wiring Specialties, hitting it out of the park constantly. So if you're looking for a wiring company, one-stop shop, these guys have and do everything. They even do LS swaps. I think they're doing the 13 and they're working on the 14 for that wiring harness, the main harness. And I don't think they're doing the 15. But to be technical about it, if you can change the plug-ins, I mean, it's all there. It'll do the same no matter the vehicle. You can just adapt the tail lights, turn signals, just repin everything if you know where everything goes. So you could technically use that in any car. Just have to, maybe change the plugs on the engine or something, or send them a plug. I'd say if you called them, they could probably, and I think $300 or so, they'll rework a harness. So if you don't like a harness, or if you decide you want to do something different down the road, I think they'll rework the harness for like $300, $350. $350, it's not bad if you bought one of these harnesses. So if I took that, I want to change something, different engine, different, rearrange it, $350, that's not bad compared to the price of what I paid for that thing. So if I wanted to put it in a different chassis, $350, they'll rework it or whatever. There may be some additional cost depending on the plugs, or if you have the plugs and you send them to them, there may be some options there. But definitely get in touch with these guys. This is the way to go. You buy the all-inclusive power. This puts it all the way to the trunk. Simplifies everything. So yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm blown away at all this stuff. This is amazing. This stuff's great. So I'll leave a link in the description of Wiring Specialties, ECU Masters. Yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. Like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Hit the little bell on there. You hit the little bell, that'll let you know when we put out new videos and stuff. And I hope you hung in there with me on all this stuff. I don't know all the technical jargon. I'd like to answer some questions and all that kind of stuff. Comment, hey, what do you think about this, setup? Is this something you're interested in, If you got any questions, you can message me and talk to me directly about it. I don't care to answer a few questions. But guys, this is way simpler. It's not cheap, it's way simpler. With having the rentals and all these cars, it's hard for me to keep up. My mind is scattered all the time, and I'm not a wiring guy. This just simplifies it for me. Did I have the money? Not really. Not really. But if you're going to build a drift car, you better plan on spending some money. You need to not start if you don't plan on spending some money. You can make a drift car, just a cheap drift car. You can put a drift car together. But if you're going to do a higher level drift car, you better get your money right. I'll just be honest about it. And did I have it really to spend? No. But I figured it out. I made it work. So, alright. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Alright, here we go.
I'm feeling high.